COVID vaccines are on the way. We just don't know when. The confusion as health officials report another record high number of new cases. 1,855 additional infections have been confirmed. That's 267 more than the previous high set back on Saturday. That's also because a record 58,000 tests were processed by the labs yesterday. That means positivity rate is steady at 3.7%. Meanwhile, another 20 people have passed away as a result of the virus. 4 health units are reporting triple-digit increases today: Peel, Toronto, York and Halton. And there's been a bit of an asterisk attached to the 130 cases coming from Halton. Up to 60 of those infections were detected sometime over the past 10 days, but are just being reported today for the first time. And with yet another record high COVID case count, Premier Doug Ford is putting the pressure on the Trudeau government to give a clear timeline on when this province can expect vaccines. And he made it very clear who will be to blame if they don't arrive in January as first expected.
My friends, the federal government is responsible for procurement of this vaccine.
Amidst new uncertainty as to when Canada will get vaccines, Premier Doug Ford says he spoke with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau last night and asked when they are coming, what kind they will be, and how many Ontario will get.
And we expect answers, because we can't have Canadians watching as our allies start getting vaccines without having a clear answer on when we will be getting it.
But the PM did not give a clear answer to any of those questions.
What really matters is when we get to cross the finish line. If all goes according to plan, we should be able to have the majority of Canadians vaccinated by next September. Puts us in very good stead.
Earlier this week, Premier Ford said he expected the vaccines to be delivered to Ontario in early January. But then the Prime Minister warned Canadians it might take longer than anticipated to get them because Canada doesn't have vaccine production capabilities.
The clock is ticking. We can't be last in line.
Ford says without answers to the questions, rolling out the vaccines will be a logistical nightmare. Regardless of timing, retired General Rick Hillier, who's leading the distribution task force, promised to be ready to deliver.
We're going to be ready for 31 December.
With rising case numbers, Toronto and Peel in lockdown, and COVID fatigue, the Premier has been facing increased criticism and protests. He had some choice words for people who have been going to his home.
Stop acting like a bunch of buffoons out there and start respecting the people of Ontario. You want to come at me? Come at me. Leave my family and leave my neighbours alone.
Don't let the Premier's outburst distract you from his main message, though. Today, he effectively put Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on notice that despite the non-partisan relationship developed during the pandemic, if there is a delay getting vaccines, Ford will place the blame squarely on the federal government. Meanwhile, Ottawa announcing today that it's also looking to the military for their own distribution task force, now headed up by former NATO commander Major Danny Fortin.